Welcome to another edition of Feel Good Friday on the Forever Ready Productions Facebook and YouTube channels. Obviously, we're in Chicago for this week's episode, and that's because the Memphis team is really busy this week. They have a live virtual event coming up this weekend that they will be producing, and another one in October. And that's the one I'm going to tell you a little bit more about. So the Memphis team is working with MIFA, the Metropolitan Interfaith Association, to produce its live virtual event on October 7th. And that conference will be about issues surrounding homelessness in the Memphis area. And this year, they're also going to be talking about the very important and serious topic of eviction. They'll be discussing a book by Matthew Desmond called Eviction, Poverty and Profit in the American City. And the Memphis team has worked with MIFA to produce videos about eviction, talking to people who have been evicted, talking to organizations that help people who have been evicted. And they're really powerful stories, and I want to share one with you right now.
Poverty is profitable in a lot of ways. We have businesses that will prey on our community, payday lenders that charge 400 to 700% interest. We have residents that spend more than 50 or 70% of their income on rent and utility, and that's not sustainable. The cost of living for those who are in poverty is much higher than everyone else. The impact of evictions are not just with the families, that when they see their personal property thrown out onto the curb, that is a traumatic event, but it's also traumatic for the neighborhood and the people on the block when they see their neighbors go through that. And I think that looming fear after each eviction is real, and it definitely traumatizes our residents. I think Matthew Desmond said it best, is that eviction is not the result of personal irresponsibility, but it's inevitability. That it's going to happen because it's not sustainable for people to spend so much of their income on housing. There's a misconception that people in our community are lazy and that they don't want to work. That's not the reality at all. People get trapped in this cycle of renting and eviction and renting, and we have such a transient neighborhood, like many neighborhoods in Memphis, where it's very hard to establish community when your neighbors are new every other month. People need to understand that families need places to go, and there's not affordable housing in Memphis. We also need to understand that communities are not collectively irresponsible, but there's a collective responsibility that Memphis should have to look out for our neighbors, and we're not doing that. For me, my hope is that we can walk down our street and we see every house with a light on, and right now that's not the reality. So.
Thanks to the Memphis team for their hard work on those stories. Charlie and I have also been busy planning live virtual events. We just had one this past Saturday with the Center for Independence. They're a nonprofit that helps kids with cerebral palsy, and there's so much heart in that organization, and it's what we heard over and over again as we interviewed parents for 4 videos that we made for that virtual event. I want to show you 2 of our favorites, so take a look.
Go, go, go! Go, Felipe, go!
1 and 2.
As a kid and a family with a disability, we know the first hand what being isolated means, social distance means, because we have it like on a daily basis. My name is Karina Aguilar, and this is Felipe Aguilar. He's been in the center for more than 7 years already. I have to say that the Center for Independence, the conductive education, has been a blessing to my family, because Felipe is being treated as a person, as an individual. When the pandemic started, I was so pleased that they called us right away and start with the telehealth, and they did that regardless of ability to pay for that service. It was so nice seeing them. They were giving instructions to him, and as a good mom, I went right away and, okay, Felipe needs to move his right arm. Okay, let's go help. And he rejected me like, no, like, tell me, I can do it, mommy, I can do it by myself. I was so proud of him, and I was so overjoyed. And they were there not only like 2 or 3 times a week. Also, they were asking us about how is the family doing, providing with some groceries or whatever we need. Running. When you find people like the Center for Independence team, you just feel like it's God giving you the opportunity for him to succeed and to be a better child. Thanks everybody, every sponsor, every person who made possible that Felipe has this assistance, because we wouldn't be able to pay.
Lefty, yes, push and righty.
Ashlyn was born premature. She was born 31 weeks. And we found out when she was about 15 days old that she somehow suffered from a brain injury. We realized that this was going to be a lifelong diagnosis for us, and at 6 months old she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
Can you hold on, please?
We decided that we wanted to give Ashlyn every opportunity possible and have every kind of resource to help her grow and thrive when it came to motor differences and difficulties, and she's been doing wonderful here.
Step, lefty steps.
And I have to say, those tiny little steps that she takes, like, really just, you know, as a mother, you're just so proud. So everything they work on here, even the tiny, tiny little small things, are just so amazing to see.
And then you need to press it. I can go show you.
The pandemic has been very difficult to have a child that has motor difficulties like Ashlyn. Things kind of just came to a complete stop. Progress, strength, we saw her kind of regress a little bit, and that was really hard as parents to kind of feel so helpless. My husband is in dentistry, so when the pandemic hit, work stopped. And you're, as parents, faced with a lot of things that cost a lot of money. So for the center to not care about how much we can offer, I don't know that I could put into words how thankful we are for them.
And push it in. You can do it. Press.
If I could see every single one of them and speak to every single one of them, I would let them know how much of a difference that their contribution really makes in the lives of families like mine. Thank you. I am so grateful for this place. This place has been a light in our journey. There's just so much heart here. There's so much love here. And that's what sets this place apart from anywhere we've ever been.
The pandemic really has been so hard on parents, especially parents who have kids with special needs or disabilities, and I know the center is so grateful for all the support they received during their virtual event on Saturday. That's it for this week's Feel Good Friday. Tune in next week as we'll have more positive and inspiring stories to share.